What day is it? Happy Monday. My name is Sina Martin. If you're new to me, hello. And if you've been here before, I'm happy to see you again. Thanks for joining the live stream. I am a success coach and I work with successful women in business, seasoned business owners, on ways to make their personal relationships be of more quality. I help women increase the quality of the relationship they have with themselves and with the people that matter most in their lives. I've worked in this arena for a few years, probably, if we're being honest, about 10 years. I've worked with women in different areas of their businesses and how they can make things more meaningful. They have the finances, they have the company that's thriving, they have the customers, the clients, but what they don't have is personal fulfillment. And this is an area I'm extremely passionate about, and this is why I've done a mindset arena for so many years. So we're going to dive into that topic a little bit more today on this live stream. And the question I posed, if you look in the title, is do women have to sacrifice their relationships to be successful in business? A lot of female business owners, first of all, if you just start from the statistics and the facts, there are, more women businesses than there have ever been. There's such a boom of women who are going out there and being go-getters and being leaders of the pack and taking charge and really starting businesses nowadays. I don't want to say every and generalize it, but just about every other woman probably owns a business. So there is this situation going on where women are taking charge, leading the pack. They're becoming the breadwinners for their house. They are what we've always done, right? Took care of the children, went to work, made sure that we had to do whatever it is we had to do to be, to make sure our families were taken care of and to make sure our families were good. And I'm speaking from my own experience as a single mom, when I was a single mom. But the problem is that because so many women are leading and taking the charge, a lot of them are feeling like they aren't able to have personal relationships that thrive, and they're not able to cultivate purpose-filled relationships, and they're not able to experience love to the level that they want to because it's one or the other. They can't have this and the best friend. They can't have the money and the man. They can't have both. And I wanted to address that question on this live stream today and pose that question to you. Do you feel like women have to sacrifice their relationships to be successful in business? Is this something that you've seen from your own experience? Is this a belief that you have? Is this a mindset that you struggle with? So I would love for you to, put a business. I don't believe that women have to sacrifice their relationships to be successful. I do believe you can and the best friend. You can have the money and the man. You can have the relationship and the results. I believe you can have both, but it definitely boils down to how you're spreading yourself across the plate. And I don't want to say it like that because women are known, especially women who can relate to me and who come from a similar background as me, or you might have been a teenage parent, like a teenage mom like I was. I come from a broken household like I did, where my father wasn't in the household, and then when I did have a stepfather who was in the household, he was the complete opposite of a father figure. And so I had to find my father figures and my parental figures outside of my own house. So if you can relate to those things, then you may have a belief that says women definitely have to sacrifice those relationships because you got to focus on going out and working. You have to focus on going out there and making things happen and creating those results. But I've used to think like that, and in my experience now, I know that women don't have to, going back to the original point I was making, that we're known for spreading ourselves too thin, and we're known for spreading ourselves across the board, because we have to wear 18 different hats in our house and in our lives and to our children and in our careers, right? But what I've realized in my own journey is that I don't have to spread myself thin. But what I do have to do, if I want both, if I want the business and the personal thriving relationship, is that I do have to prioritize where my focus is and where my gift to be able to make things grow go. I have to focus on where those things go. And meaning I cannot put myself 1,000% into my work because whatever reasons you're telling yourself, oh, you need the business to grow, oh, you need to hit the 6 figures, you need to hit the 7 figures, you need to make the money, you got to get the kids, you got to make sure that college fund is paid up, you got to make sure that you guys have what you need to buy the house. Whatever stack of reasons you put on that other side that tells you to be a workhorse, I realized that I can't do that. What I can do is have a healthy amount of time as the working go-getter CEO of my business, but I also need to have a mindset to be the cultivator, to be the supporter, to be the to water the garden on the side of my relationships. And the relationships come in twofold. It's personal, the relationship with myself, the relationship with the creator that I, my personal faith and my beliefs, that relationship. And then it's also the outer relationships, my children, my fiance, my husband, or your husband, friendships, business, friends and acquaintances and accountability partners, my coworkers, if you have a job or you go to work, boss. So all of those outer relationships that you interact with on a daily basis, those two areas of the relationships, I have to water them, I have to cultivate them, I have to pour love on those. I can't neglect those because I have to work. I can't forget those because I have to hit this income goal in my business for the. And I've done that where I've neglected friends, I've neglected family, I've neglected my children. I'm just being honest. I've been through the road of the neglecting part and struggling to find the man that I really wanted to be because I was so focused on the hustle. And so when you remove yourself from walking in the gift that you have as a woman to your relationships and to encourage your children and to reward yourself, because that's really what it is, reward yourself with fulfilling relationships where you can feel and experience what it's like to have somebody love you unconditionally and to go out his way for you and to think about you before you even come home and to sometimes have the house clean for you because you had a long day at work, to do things for you where you're the queen and you're treated like that, to neglect yourself of that experience because you're being a workhorse, and then you're basically keeping yourself in the space of being a workhorse by saying, I can't find the relationship that I'm looking for, or I'm only attracting this type of man, or whatever the problems may be. Those things might be valid and they may be happening to you, but is it because you really can't find what you're looking for? Or have you only approached the situation from a mindset of, this is how I am, this is the kind of go-getter businesswoman that I am, and I'm not budging or I'm not changing for anybody. I only have to allow them, I only can be who I am, and what I want in a relationship is gotta come to me. It's got to meet my checklist. It's got to be right. And now I'm not generalizing and saying all women in business are like this, because that's not true. Some women in business have genuine issues that they deal with as far as their relationship. But that is just, what I encounter a lot with different women who have the mindset that they don't have time for thriving relationships. And a lot of times it's just because they're not being compromised. They're not being, they're not willing to not compromise, but they're not willing to, they're not willing to negotiate. They're not willing to accommodate. There's the word. They're not willing to accommodate. They want it a certain way, in a certain box. And so I just want that out there, that I do not at all think women have to sacrifice their relationships to be successful in business. But I know that a lot of women in business who get kind of locked on to that mindset that I just described, it's because they're just not willing to accommodate what they say they truly want in a good relationship. And so I would love to hear what you guys think about this. Have you experienced this? If you're willing to be transparent and open, and share if you're one of these women that I'm talking about who are struggling with the thriving personal relationships that you truly want. If you're struggling with it, put in comments and share. I would love to, discuss this with you and talk about it. But I think you can have both without a shadow of a doubt. But I think it's a matter of where you put your focus and your effort at. So I would love to hear what you think about this, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you. Bye.